Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
At 12:20 p.m., under a clear Utah sky, Charlie Kirk was addressing a crowd at Utah Valley University. In an instant, a single rifle shot cut through the air. The rally turned to panic. Sirens. Shouts. People running for cover. One of the nation's most recognizable conservative voices had been struck down. Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, had built a large following through conservative activism and public speaking. On September 10, 2025, his American Comeback Tour brought him to Utah Valley University. What began as a scheduled rally quickly turned tragic. Kirk was shot in the neck and pronounced dead that afternoon. The event sent shockwaves through the campus and across the nation. Law enforcement immediately launched an investigation. Witnesses were questioned, surveillance footage was collected, and social media posts were monitored for leads. Within hours, authorities identified and arrested a suspect. The case remains under investigation, with many details still emerging. Charlie Kirk, born in 1993, had emerged as one of the most prominent voices in conservative student activism. As co-founder of Turning Point USA, he built a national platform, attracting millions of young followers. To supporters, he was a charismatic leader, unafraid to speak his mind. To critics, he was a polarizing figure, stirring controversy and debate wherever he went. His American Comeback Tour was meant to rally supporters after a contentious political season, a chance to energize a generation and make his voice heard. Across the United States, tensions were rising. Political divisions had grown sharper than ever. Campuses that were once safe spaces for debate had become flashpoints for confrontation. Social media amplified every comment, every disagreement, and threats toward public figures were becoming disturbingly common. Even among those attending rallies, a quiet question lingered. Could anyone speak freely without fear? September 10, 2025. Utah Valley University. The campus was alive with anticipation. Approximately 3,000 people had gathered, the sun beating down on the crowd, security personnel scanning the perimeter, and cameras set up to capture the event. Students, supporters, and curious onlookers mingled, unaware of the shadow that would soon fall over the campus. Charlie Kirk took the stage. His presence commanding. His voice cutting through the murmurs of the crowd. He spoke about national issues, political divides, and social tensions. He spoke about violence and safety, about choices and responsibility. Every word seemed to resonate with the thousands before him. And then, barely 20 minutes into his speech, a sound that no one expected, a rifle shot, shattered the air. At approximately 12:20 p.m., a single rifle shot rang out from a rooftop roughly 200 yards from the stage. It struck Charlie Kirk in the neck, instantly turning the rally into a scene of chaos. Screams erupted, the crowd scattered, and first responders rushed toward the stage. Panic spread through the campus as people sought safety. Surveillance cameras captured portions of the shocking moment, and within minutes, videos began circulating online, spreading the horror across the nation. Investigators arrived quickly, beginning the meticulous work of collecting evidence. Bullet casings were recovered, some marked with unusual inscriptions. A bolt-action muzzle-loader rifle was found in a wooded area near the campus. Footprints, palm prints, and forearm impressions were documented. Each piece of evidence would prove critical in piecing together the events of that day. Eyewitnesses described what they saw with trembling voices. Some reported a figure dressed entirely in black, wearing a tactical helmet and mask. Others said they heard only a single shot, yet the impact was devastating. The campus went into lockdown. Students and staff fled in all directions, and authorities cordoned off multiple areas. For many who were present, the attack was unimaginable, a sudden, violent rupture of what had begun as a peaceful gathering. The sound of that shot echoed far beyond the campus, leaving a trail of fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. Emergency personnel worked frantically to secure the scene, tend to the injured, and begin the first steps of an investigation that would unfold over the coming days. Every witness, every camera angle, every detail mattered in the search for the truth. The manhunt for the suspect began immediately. Local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies moved swiftly, coordinating efforts across multiple jurisdictions. The FBI and the Utah Department of Public Safety took the lead, reviewing surveillance footage, following public tips, and speaking with individuals connected to the case. Family members of the suspect also came forward, providing information that would aid investigators in narrowing their search. On September 12, just 33 hours after the shooting, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was taken into custody. Authorities charged him with aggravated murder, discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, and obstruction of justice. He was held without bail as the investigation continued. Despite the arrest, many questions remained. Investigators had yet to confirm a motive. Law enforcement was examining whether political ideology, personal grievances, or other factors had played a role. Authorities were also looking for any signs of premeditation or accomplices, carefully piecing together the suspect's actions in the hours and days leading up to the attack. The shooting drew immediate attention from public figures and the nation at large. Statements described the attack as an act of political violence, a shocking assault on public safety. Family and friends mourned the loss, grappling with the sudden death of a husband, a father, and a public figure. Vigils were held, memorials created, and social media became a forum for collective grief and calls for justice. Authorities continued their work behind the scenes, collecting evidence, reviewing communications, and preparing for the next stages of the investigation. Every detail mattered, as the nation watched closely for answers. Investigators have been examining multiple lines of inquiry, while public discussion and speculation have grown online. One possibility under consideration is a political motive. Reports indicate that the suspect had previously criticized Charlie Kirk publicly, and investigators are reviewing evidence, including bullet casings with unusual inscriptions, to determine any connection. Another area under review involves potential mental health or personal grievances. Authorities are looking into whether personal beliefs, psychological factors, or prior conflicts may have played a role. Family members and acquaintances have provided information, though no conclusions have been drawn at this stage. Some online discussions have suggested broader conspiracies, including possible accomplices or ideological groups. Fact-checkers have noted that many of these claims are unverified or false, and authorities caution against assuming their accuracy. At this point, no formal motive has been confirmed. The investigation continues, carefully considering all evidence. Some details suggest the possibility of premeditation, while others point to psychological factors. The case highlights the complex intersection between political tension and radicalization, and investigators are proceeding cautiously to uncover the full truth. As of today, Tyler Robinson remains in Utah County Jail, held without bail. Formal charges, including aggravated murder and related offenses, have been filed. Authorities continue to review forensic evidence and other investigative findings, preparing for the next stages of the legal process. The case is expected to proceed toward trial in the coming months, while the public and supporters of Charlie Kirk continue to seek transparency and answers. Looking ahead, several developments are anticipated. Investigators may release additional details about the motive, including information from court documents. Authorities will continue to examine any possible links to extremist groups, and the suspect's mental health may be considered during legal proceedings. The case could result in a plea agreement or a full trial. Beyond the courtroom, the incident is likely to influence public discussions on political polarization, safety at public events, and the role of journalism in reporting sensitive cases. The shooting of Charlie Kirk sent shockwaves across the nation, revealing divisions that many had hoped were behind us. The events highlighted the fragile balance between free speech, political polarization, and public safety. While many questions remain, the investigation continues, and the search for answers is ongoing. This tragedy has left a lasting impact on Kirk's family, supporters, and the wider community. Vigils, memorials, and moments of reflection have marked the collective grief, as authorities work to uncover the full truth. The story is not yet complete, and developments in the coming weeks and months will shape both the legal outcome and the public conversation. If you found this episode informative, consider sharing it to help others understand the full context of this event. Comment below with your thoughts on the case, and what steps you believe the public and authorities should take next. For ongoing updates as the investigation unfolds, subscribe and turn on notifications. This story is far from over.